The best campus I've lived on. Best decision I made. At HKBU School of Business, I met lifelong friends from across the world. Professors who guide me, mentors who walk with me. I found my new home, my passion, my career. When I think back to my time at HKBU School of Business, it's where it all began.
Right. So hopefully we get to see you on our campus, and that you can make this campus your home in the upcoming academic semester. All right, just give our last breakout room a couple more minutes. They are wrapping up right now. I can see that they are wrapping up very, very shortly. All right, so just give them a couple of minutes while we start to consolidate your thoughts, especially, if you have questions with regards to admissions, scholarships. All right, this is the right time to give your questions. All right, so let us just take a little break. I think we have had a 1 hour class, very, very intensive class. So I hope also students, you have a taste of how classes are like in HKBU if you do join us in one of our top postgraduate programs. All right, so I think the last breakout room is wrapping up. All right, so let's just give them a couple of minutes before we take them all in. So we appreciate your patience on this. All right, go ahead and grab a little coffee if you need to. The last segment will not take more than 20 minutes of your time. All right, let's just take a breather in the meantime. right, thank you very much for your patience, everyone. I'm so grateful that all of you are still with us. Right, this last breakout room has finally wrapped up. All right, and I'm going to start the most, I wouldn't say most important, but the segment that a lot of students had questions with regards to scholarship and admissions. All right. So while our friends are coming in, I'm just going to start the session. So rest assured, the entire session is recorded. All right. So even if you have missed a part of it, you don't need to worry because we will be uploading this and sending you the link to your registered email addresses. All right. So don't worry about that. Okay, excellent. So welcome back. Good afternoon once again. So my name is Min. In case you don't know or you've forgotten who I am, I'm from the Mainland and Global Engagement section of the Hong Kong Baptist University School of Business. Right, the last segment that we are going to spend some time together is with regards to admissions, student life, and scholarships. I hope all of you have had a amazing 1 hour with our lecturers, our star lecturers, and also our program directors, program officers, understanding the programs that our university, in particular School of Business, offers, right? So some of you might be thinking, right, so why come to Hong Kong, right? I think you must have had a good sense by now that Hong Kong is really a vibrant fusion of the East and the West, right? In terms of our history, right, we've got a very strong history in relation to being a port, right, whereby the West interacts with the East through Hong Kong, all right? And most importantly, right, and in the current economy of things, right, Hong Kong really is a gateway, a major gateway to China. So what does it mean for our potential students, right? As a student of Hong Kong Baptist University, you will potentially, not potentially, almost in entirety, that you will have a chance to interact with a potential employer through in the form of, say, study trips or internships or even lectures with our colleagues in mainland China. All right, and that's very much inbuilt into our programs. Over and above mainland, I think, of course, we mentioned about the many university partners around the world that you can actually be engaged with. Just to give you a sense for our international students who may not be familiar with the Hong Kong education scene, there are 8 public universities in Hong Kong, right? Baptist U is certainly one of them. Our School of Business, I think as mentioned right at the start, Professor Wan has mentioned that we are a triple accredited university, or rather School of Business, right? And in terms of rankings, we have been pretty successful in the last couple of years, all right? So THE, right, we are at 9th, all right, in the respective details that you see on the screen. Likewise, I think on this slide, I also want to veer your attention to the kind of exchange partners that you get to interact with or get to be exposed to during your course of study, right? But I also hope that all of you don't just look at ranking. Look at the student experience that our School of Business will bring to you, right? So in terms of student experience, right, some of you might be wondering, am I just going to be in Hong Kong for my entire course of study in Hong Kong? The answer is not necessarily true. We also offer to international, or rather we offer to our students double degree options, which means that after you complete 1 year in our School of Business, you have the option of going abroad to one of these partner universities who are also offering excellent business school programs. I mentioned about our global network. There are also opportunities for you to undertake summer semester abroad, right, in any of these partner destinations. From a student standpoint, I've been doing outreach, I've been speaking with potential students, and one of the questions that students are always curious is that, can we work part-time, right? Hong Kong has a fairly high standard of living, right? Can we work part-time to supplement our income when we're studying, right? The Hong Kong government allows and permits part-time employment on campus during term time, all right? So that's during term time. There is an upper limit of between 18 to 20 hours per week, all right? But what is also very exciting for international students, right, is that upon graduation, right, all international students, you may, if you apply for and be granted for the IANG, which is the Immigration Arrangements for Non-Local Graduates, the IANG visa. It is a 2-year non-conditional stay visa that allows you to stay in Hong Kong without um, without having a sponsored work visa. So what does that mean for you? The effective implication for you international students is that you may be able to take your time, all right, to look for an appropriate job or to explore in the startup scene, all right, as compared to being rushed to quickly get a job to, to stay in Hong Kong, all right. Something that's also very exciting is that after 7 years in Hong Kong, you will then qualify for the Hong Kong permanent residence if you do apply for it. All right, so that's something that's very, very generous of the Hong Kong government really to retain talent like you. All right. In terms of the programs, there are a lot of questions about our programs. I think all of you were in 3 different breakout rooms, and each of the breakout rooms would have a certain program representation. All right, so all in all, in the upcoming admission cycle, that means the September 2026 admission cycle, we would have 12 Port Masters programs for you to explore. All right, so these are the 12 programs. And a lot of you are also asking about the cost, right? So our programs, each program each program has a different cost. Each of them has also a slightly different semester design. So some of them run on trimesters, some of them run on 2 semesters. Some of them would then have a dissertation that is a dissertation period that is actually different from your typical 2 semesters. All right, so they're all on the screen. And most importantly, all this information can be found in our BUSD, our School of Business website. But this is really a summary for you. All right, just give me a minute while I just clear the drawings that I think some of our colleagues may have unwittingly started to scribble. All right, good. All right, thank you very much. So these are the 12 programs and their related tuition fees. And really, I think this is the slide that a lot of you must be very curious, right? A lot of you have been asking in our registration form, are there scholarships for international students? All right, yes. All right, we have our School of Business now offers the International Postgraduate Scholarships, IPS in short, right? The IPS is a prestigious scholarship offered to international students, all right? It comprises of your tuition fee and a living allowance of up to $12,800. All right. So that effectively means that you will be financially supported during your stay in Hong Kong Baptist University. All right. And in terms of how it is going to be paid out, the IPS scholarship will be paid in 2 installments, right, at the start of each semester. However, students must maintain a CGPA of at least 3 out of 4 to retain your scholarship. All right. So who is eligible for it? All right. This is applicable for applicants outside the Greater China area. So in Hong Kong Baptist University, we referred the nationality to your passport, right? Not to your country or permanent residence. We look at your passport, right? So as long as you do not hold a mainland passport, as long as you do not hold a Hong Kong SAR passport, right? You are eligible, all right, for the IPS. And if you are eligible and if you apply for our program, you will automatically be considered for the IPS, okay? There were many questions with regards to how do I apply, right? So as I mentioned in the middle box, you will be automatically considered for the IPS. That means there is no separate application. Okay, we're not just looking at the top student, right, in terms of grades, right? Grades are important, all right, but we are also looking at a holistic student. We are looking at how a student is an all-rounder, right, has been involved in leadership activities, all right? And has he or she also been active in extracurricular activities? Right, so these are all the components that we look at. Most importantly, right, your performance at the online admissions interview will determine the quantum amount of your IPS. All right. On top of the IPS, each program would also have a scholarship that is tied to your program. All right. Of course, all these details are all available in your in our website. But in essence, right, we have a lot of financial support for outstanding students, and we encourage outstanding students to really not just excel academically, but also explore Hong Kong Baptist University and see this as a place for you to grow in your next phase in life. Moving on, with regards to housing, all right, we have on-campus housing. You can explore on-campus housing that is in our NTTIH, right? This NTTIH is the hostel that is available for our self-financed full-time international postgraduate students. So all students like all of you. All right, so it is not super affordable, I must say. I'm sorry to say this on Zoom. All right, so we also have a lot of students who actually rents an apartment, and we are in an extremely location downtown in Hong Kong. Extremely convenient location between Lok Fu Station and Kowloon Tong, right? So we do have the bulk of our top postgraduate students actually live nearby, off campus, but nearby, all right? And how do I apply and when do I apply, right? So our academic year starts in September, all right? So our admission cycle starts a year ahead. That's approximately September. So applications are open right now, all right? So if you have completed your bachelor's or will be completing your bachelor's in the next couple of months, you are welcome to apply into any of our top postgraduate program, all right? We welcome applicants to apply from now all the way to April, May, thereabouts. June would be a stretch because our admissions is on a rolling basis. That means as you apply, right, our program directors will be selecting applicants and your interview you will be shortlisted for interviews on a rolling basis, all right? And in terms of student visa, our university will facilitate that, will facilitate your arrival in Hong Kong. And eventually you will, most international students will arrive in HKBU or rather in Hong Kong sometime late August. All right. And for my last slide, all right, if you have not been paying attention, this is the slide to pay attention, right? So applications are online, all right? Applications are online, all right? Take a picture of this screen if you need to. The application portal is open for you. You need to set up an account, right? It will be very much self-guided. You need to submit your identity documents such as passport, right? And your diplomas, your graduation transcripts, your certificate, all right? For students who are coming from, or rather who has completed your bachelor's from a non-English medium university, right? IELTS and TOEFL will be expected. You will need to submit your IELTS and your TOEFL results online as well. So for students coming from non-English medium universities and institutions, our IELTS requirement is 6.5 and TOEFL 79 or above. All right. So with this, this is my last slide. I want to thank my colleagues for spending our Saturday with us for a very successful online info session. And to our potential students, I hope to see you on campus. Right. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon ahead. If you have questions, feel free to type in the Zoom chat. We will be online for you. Right. If you do not have a question, feel free to leave the Zoom. Thank you very much. to our colleagues, let's just hang around for a bit if there are questions. If not, we would be able to leave. Alright. feel free to leave. I think the questions are okay. I think feel free to leave the Zoom if there are no further questions. I'm still monitoring the Zoom chat, but I think we should be fine. And if there are questions that my team cannot answer, we will ask them to drop us an email and then direct it to the respective programs. So once again, thank you very much, colleagues, for lending a hand. It's a precious Saturday afternoon. I hope you had a good session with your potential students. I know, is it mainly colleagues now? Let me see. If there are many colleagues, we can talk about. Oh no, they're still students. Then it's fine. Yeah. There's a couple of questions with regards to the application fee. We will internally clarify because they're still potential students. So let's not use this platform to talk about that. All right. So, but once again, thank you so much, colleagues, for making this a success. All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you on campus. All right. Thank you. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank
Next
you.
week,
Happy
if you have-
weekend.
Yes,
Yeah.
happy weekend. Thank you.
Thank you,
And especially
colleagues.
to my info admin.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And then students, if you have questions, potential students, if you have questions, feel free to type in the Zoom chat or unmute if you need to. Or just leave the Zoom going on for a couple more minutes. All right.